Thank you for being here.
Sure. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you. So I'm kind of, I would say I was intrigued by like your character on TV and whatnot, like
Mhm.
you portrayed to be and whatnot. So um, I actually wanted to know like who are you pretty much though, like who are you? Where are you from? Just a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm from Germany, born and raised in Germany. I went to an English speaking school in Germany and went to college here in the
Wow.
US at Pepperdine. I studied advertising. And then I did modeling for a long time with Ford models. I did runways, all that stuff. I lived in Milan and London, New York, and a little bit Miami. And then got into real estate because I didn't want to travel anymore. So I lived in back to LA and got into real estate, did a little bit of overlap of modeling and real estate and then got into real estate, worked for many big developers, and then I met Brett on a transaction. We became friends. That's how I got involved with the Oppenheim Group, and I joined them. And then, of course, the rest is history on Selling Sunset.
Wow. Um, was real estate always like a dream of yours,
Not
or
at
it
all.
just
No, not at all. I just wanted to be a beauty editor or
wow?
art director, something like that. And I did work for some magazines right when I was at the end of college, and like right after I worked for I was an editor for Angelino and Flaunt magazine. It was freelance editing, so you would go to events and then report about it. And I was like, this is not really what I was hoping it would be, and also
Hmm.
print was going out of fashion. It was all becoming digital, and I just didn't want to work on a deadline. It just wasn't that exciting. So I was like, also, it wasn't that the pay wasn't strong. So I was like, okay, well, this is not paid well, and you're under a lot of time pressure. So why would you continue on that path? So it was my passion. I didn't know how I could do something in beauty. So I kind of just put it on the back burner, but it's just always my personal hobby and passion to get into beauty and wellness related fields and topics. And yeah.
Awesome. Wow. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of curious though, because for someone who never dreamed of being in real estate and whatnot, you had a pretty successful career in it.
Yeah,
Um,
I like to be the best that I can be at whatever I'm doing. So I go for the max. I give it my all, and I did the same for modeling. That's why I moved to Europe, and I was all in, and I was like, I want to really make this happen. So
mhm.
in real estate, my initial motivation was to just learn what the process is of buying a property and just, what does it even mean? What are the steps? How does it work? And that was really just for my own personal understanding. I was married at the time, and I was married to someone who was a loan mortgage officer. So I was like learning a little bit about the financing. I'd hear about it, and I was like, how does it work? So it's kind of like a doctor. If you need some sort of medical attention, you want to look for the best doctors, and you want to understand their background. Why are they an expert in their field? At least that's my
Yeah.
attitude towards things. And so I was like, well, if I ever buy a house, I want to know how it works. Like, what are the steps? Even am I just going to trust a random agent? Like, so I really just did it for that. And then a friend of mine who was also modeling with me, is a guy friend, and he ended up kind of following a similar path. And he worked for a big developer, and we kind of by random chance got involved there. He was going to buy a condo in the marina, and then he ended up becoming friends with the sales team. He ended up working there. He got me a job there. That's how we got involved.
Oh, okay. 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 Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. 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 That's pretty interesting.
You
So,
know, hindsight is always 2020, right? So when you look back, you're like, oh, that
good
makes
point.
like right, and it's your network of friends of people that kind of connect you, link you to whatever parts of your life.
No, that's true. It's a good point. So, with your role on Selling Sunset, right? How do you balance like the demand of like reality TV with your real estate career? And then, did you have like any challenges like going through like those two things?
That's a loaded question. I mean, that's a massive question. So reality TV is by definition about the drama. And so when there are no ups and downs in life, then it's boring to watch. And of course, there are ups and downs in various ways in life, right? So could be anything, it could be money, love, health, work, whatever, right? And so that's kind of what makes it exciting. But of course, because it's entertainment and it's business, they have to sort of, they have to sort of make it a little more compact, So things that are filmed over, let's say, 5 months, they have to be cut down into 8 episodes that are like 30 to 40 minutes each. So you can't have like a 5-hour event. So they have to kind of like narrow it down into the juiciest parts. And that's how it becomes incredibly stressful, right? So something that might have happened over, let's say, your last month, they make it into 30 minutes. So obviously it's going to be a little more like, whoa, jarring, right? Because it's like those are the highlights or the lowlights of every moment. So it's very stressful. It's also really fun. It's a combination of things. It's an amazing opportunity, but it does take a lot of your energy and focus and attention because you have to be fully involved with people that you're working with on camera, off camera. You have to dedicate a lot of time to your look. And so it's all consuming. You can't be half in, half out. I would say I had no idea what I was signing up for. I was not focused on my look. I was really literally trying to do my real estate job and like on the side be on the show. And I think it's very obvious that I was just there like to be real and I wasn't trying to be something I'm not.
Right.
And I also didn't understand how editing works or how it even works to be on a reality show, which I don't think any of us understood. So, that was a big learning curve, but it was very, very stressful to do a full-time job of real estate. For example, driving construction sites, following up with people, going to meetings, and then filming a show that was completely new territory for me. And I was like, this is very different from modeling. It's not what you look like, it's the story you bring. So, and then editing can twist and turn things to look different than maybe they happen in the moment.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So that's a lot. That is a lot, especially when you're getting in the first season and whatnot. Yeah. Wow.
And so it's extremely easy to judge from the outside, but when you don't know the context and the circumstances, especially after season 1, it was like, I'd like to see you in that position, and then you just can judge me. You know what I mean? So I'd like to do a full-time job and do a full-time TV show, and have no idea what you even signed up for or what they could do with editing, and then come and talk to me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So it was a lot, and I don't think I was given I'm not bitter about it, but I just don't feel like I was given a balanced or fair edit, especially early on, because you only saw sort of a one-dimensional personality. And I'm not denying that I said or did certain things. Of course I did. And they weren't forced and they were not scripted, but they were based on what I experienced and my perspective with people and certain situations. And so, of course, if you don't give any insight to that, to the audience, then it looks like I'm nuts, right? So like, I understand from the perspective of the audience that they can't really relate to what I was saying because it made no sense to them. So that makes perfect sense. But I think it's unfair that I was only shown one way because I'm actually hilarious, and a lot of my friends will tell you I'm really funny. But if you don't show that side, then you would never know. So I have real friendships with people on that cast, and that's not because I'm mean to them or not supportive or, you know what I mean? I'm not really worried about that. It's honestly ridiculous. But if you don't show my experience or why I said certain things, then it looks like it doesn't make any sense.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. It's interesting to actually like hear it from you, from like your side
I
instead
mean,
of
I've
like.
given many interviews about this, so I'm surprised you don't know any of this. But yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very different. And when people meet me, they're always like, "Oh my God, you're so cool! What happened? This doesn't make any sense." I'm like, I'm so over it. It's been so long. Like I don't even. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But it's funny to see the reaction of people. They're like, "Oh, wild." I'm like, yeah, well, this is like 10 years ago. I'm like. Ago, but to me it seems like so long ago that I'm like totally detached from that. Like I don't even care anymore. But it is what it is, and so now I look at all entertainment, in a different way, because I think, wow, our even interviews, interviews with big publications, with media, maybe I had a 1 hour interview with somebody about the fashion on the show, and we
Mhm.
had a 30-second interaction about the online hate, and the whole article will be about online hate. They don't even mention the fashion. So it's like, okay, so what else is happening in the world that's being reported differently,
Mhm.
or focused on differently? It just really opens your eyes.
That's really interesting. Um, that's really really interesting. So, two questions based on that though. One, are we actually going to see you again,
No idea.
or on anything else? And two, since then, obviously, like real estate, are you still doing like real? Do you still do that right now? And how is that going for you?
Real estate, I've been doing real estate since January 2006, so a long time. I had very serious corporate jobs working for big developers like Ritz-Carlton Residences, the W Hollywood as a sales manager, and Beverly Hills Developments, and I had many well-known clients, and it was very successful, but it was a lot of work, and so I decided to try something different. And do a TV show, because I thought I was going to get clients that way. And of
Hmm.
course, the show ended up being completely different, which is fine. Um, but that was my initial intention and motivation to get involved in the show. I didn't want to be on a reality show. I wasn't trying to be famous. This just kind of fell in my lap. But I did believe the show would be successful because I knew the people involved, and I did believe in the success. And early on, and that was why I agreed to try it, right?
Hmm.
And it evolved and metamorphosized into something that it is now, which no one could have known at that point, right? Um, yes, I still sell real estate. It's not my focus. I have no idea if I'll be asked back on selling Sunset or not. No idea. Not worried about it. I'm open to talking to them, but I don't know. I don't know. And I think they don't know either. So we're all just open and talking and communication. We'll see. It depends if I'm involved in some story, or who knows. And as far as the other stuff, yes, I'm working on that, but I can't disclose that.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. And then since you're not on Selling Sunset anymore, because I feel like it has changed a lot since like that first season, and now
Tell
it
me
is.
your perspective of how the change has made you feel.
It's so different now. At first it was like real estate. Like that first season was kind of like a real estate show with drama. That's how I was viewing it. Now I'm viewing it as a reality TV about real estate. Like it's a little different now.
It's the
Um,
reverse now. It's a
correct.
drama show with real estate as a setting, whereas before it was a real estate show with drama as like the kind of you
Yeah.
know peripheral sort of thing, right?
Even cast members and whatnot. But it's interesting. Um,
Yeah. Do you like it, or are you turned off by it? Because I did a TikTok about this, and a large amount of people were really turned off.
I I loved it before. Now I like it. It's like a
Mhm.
good show, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not the same. It used to be like, oh, there's a new season, I'm on it. Now it's more like, oh, I
Uh,
didn't even know.
yeah.
Like it's on my list, but I'll
It's
get
not
to it
number one
at some point.
priority. Hmm.
No, because it's more like a show now. It's I'm looking at it like a show now. It's like, oh, let me. watch the show. Before it was like just real estate, so it was really interesting to actually like watch it. The people involved, I feel like they, you know, but it's just
It's
interesting.
interesting because in season 8 there's a lot of real estate, but I think no sales, and so, or like very few sales. And I don't know. You're saying there's no real estate. It's like there is real estate. It's just I don't know if it's being sold, but there's real estate.
I guess that's what I mean by like the cast. Like the first season, it was like you had people who could sell. So it was like interesting. Like you inspired people. Like people wanted to become like real estate agent because they saw beauty in that. Literally, now it's literally a show. Like they bring like people from like different industries, and
Wherever. Yeah.
correct. It's a show now.
It was really hard, in particular for Maya and I, because we really have the most significant real estate background, and we really sold and sell real estate. And for sure, the two of us, and Jason and Brett as well, our motivation to do the show was not to be famous. We didn't even care to be on a show. We were like, yeah, sure, but it wasn't like our goal in life. You know what I mean? So we weren't chasing this at all. And this kind of showed up as an opportunity. We became really great friends because we're obviously very alike. And, we're both foreign. We are both very direct. We're also very sweet and kind-hearted, but that's not shown so much. So we're very real. We really sell real estate, and we wanted to get clients from the show. That was the reason why we wanted to do it. And early on, I remember Jason and I called some of the cast members from $1 Million Listing, and we said, hey, did the show help you? Like, how does it work? We were trying to get their feedback and understand like what the opportunity was. That was our reason for doing the show. And the two of us, Maya and I, got the least amount of real estate scenes or sales. None of my sales were even shown. They just wanted me to fail at selling a $75 million listing, which it is what it is. It's fine. I'm not angry about it, but it's like, show some of my real ability and actual sales. I've sold more real estate than almost anyone there. It's just kind of mind blowing. So like, that, aside from any drama storyline, I don't mind that. That's fine. I said those things. I have opinions. It's all fine. But can I actually sell a house on the show in 6 seasons? Like, it was kind of like, how would you feel? It's like, that was the whole reason why I did this. And it's like, people that don't sell that much real estate look like boss babes, and other ones look like the deal is just, I don't want to take anything away from anyone. I want everyone to have success, but make it a little bit more fair, especially if I have a legit background. So that was very strange. And Maya and I we had a lot to say about that. And we really were like, look, can we sell a house? Can we show one of our clients? Can we sell some real estate? Like, why can't we ever have any of that? And it's just selective, editing. And so that was a little bit of a struggle, totally unrelated to any drama storyline. So after a while, I was like, okay, well, you guys make me look like I can't even form a sentence, and I can't sell a house, which is not true. And everyone in the real estate business knows that. So this is just, I don't know if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how has that experience shaped you, like on a personal level, and even like after that?
I just think about, I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and it was a huge roller coaster that we all went on, and we have a deep bond that no one will ever understand because of the experience of going through a show like Selling Sunset. And we're lucky enough for the show to be super successful, right? So it's a massive blessing, but there are a lot of ups and downs. And while you're in the low, you don't know what to expect or what's next. And almost no one knows what to tell you because none of your friends and family have experienced this, right? So almost no one knows what to say to you. They're just like, I don't know what to tell you. This is wild, So it's a huge learning curve, and it really makes you question your why. Like, why am I doing this? And it makes you, at least for me, it makes me go after my light just died. Sorry about that. So it makes you really go after your dream and your true passion and say, you know what, this is an amazing opportunity. People know who I am now. And people will be much more receptive to taking a meeting, my ideas. So I'm going to try it because this is my one life. I'm going to go after my dream. And this is the biggest door opener someone could have. So that's what it's inspired me to do. I go after what I want 100% with no doubt. So yeah, so beauty and wellness, that's my passion, you know, and it doesn't mean that I don't like real estate and I'm not doing real estate, but I never thought I was qualified or had any, like, I just didn't think, I didn't know what I would do in beauty or that I was qualified because I wasn't a chemist or anything like that. So I was like, why am I even good enough to do this? And I think going through that whole experience of the reality shows got me to a point where I'm like, you know what? I can do anything. If I can survive this, I can do anything. And this is my dream and I'm going to go after my dream. So I got really clear on my vision and I, you know, practice affirmations and I have had a lot of like traction and results because of my kind of inner vision. So I think that has only made that much stronger. So yeah.
What's that for you?
Thank you.
So how do you define success now for you?
You know, I think success is doing something that you truly love and enjoy. Hence why I'm going after what I love and enjoy. And what's like a real passion, you know, and people say that all the time, but like, I do like real estate. I'm really good at it. But to be honest, I don't go to sleep at night obsessing about real estate, you know? I don't. I think about like, oh, what's a new wellness thing or what's a new beauty thing? And why is this ingredient interesting? Or how is this different? Or how could that improve your life? And how can you be the best person you can be? And like, I'm interested in that. So like, yes, I have significant real estate background. I do enjoy it. I love meeting new people. I'm really good at it. But my passion is beauty. So I was like, okay, I think it's, you know, now that I'm finally pursuing that, it's so fulfilling and I have incredible results. And it's, if you're doing something that you love that you never thought was an option for you and you're doing it and then you get results and you get affirmation and people believe in you and they invest in you, you're like, oh my God, this is the best feeling, you know? So I can only recommend that for people. Like if your passion is whatever, I don't know, travel or, you know, who knows, pets or something, you know, and you didn't know how you could pursue a career in that and you finally do and you get positive reinforcement, it's the best feeling ever. You know, it feels amazing. You're like, wow, I'm doing what I love and people support me. Like, this is amazing. And so that is happiness, I think. And then I also think that happiness is a calm nervous system and quality relationships in your life, like whatever it is, whether it's family or romantic or friends or people you're working with, just good relationships with people. I think that really increases your joy and your happiness and your satisfaction and doing something that you love and feeling good about yourself. So whether that's being healthy, eating healthy, you know, doing sports, just feeling good about what you're doing. You could be any size and look however you want, but if you feel good about yourself, that is happiness, right?
Okay. You love it. That was great. So let's talk about you. We talk about reality TV and whatnot, but like, obviously life after selling Sunset. First thing we notice when we go on your pages and all that, obviously strong sense of like style, fashion, and things like that. Where are you when it comes to that industry? Fashion. Beauty.
So beauty is my passion. I do love fashion, but my taste is much more understated and elegant. You know, I appreciate design and I appreciate especially the vintage glam of like 95 to maybe the early 2000s. Some of the Versace and Tom Ford for Gucci. I mean, that's some of the best designs out there. So some of these outfits are really hard to find. And I work with an incredible friend who's a stylist who can source some of these items for me. So the people that know fashion, they understand and appreciate what I'm wearing. Some people don't understand, and I'm not posting for them. I'm posting because I love these looks, you know, and I feel good in them. So if you know anything about fashion, you'll understand what I'm posting. And literally, I posted I did a real estate scene with Jason, I think in season 5. and I was wearing a Chanel set that was a black skirt with a crop top red shirt, like a little button up.
Uh-huh.
And I can try to find it for you. And, you know, that's extremely hard to find. It was, I think, Runway, I want to say it was Claudia Schiffer, Runway, 1995, Gianni Versace. I mean, this is like
Wow.
classic,
That was one thing about you. I was like, oh, strong.
mhm.
You really good. I like your style. Like, it was really, that was the first thing I was like, oh.
I think some of the other castmates, and I love them all in their own way, but they have some very loud fashion, and I think they're all trying to one up each other. And I think
especially now.
it screams like, look at me. It's begging for attention, and God bless them, but like it's just it's not sophisticated to me, So, and I think there's only one person that we all know can pull that off, which is her genuine style, and that's Christine, And I don't want to be Christine. I don't want to be her, and she's her own person, and I'm my own person. And I think anyone that tries to emulate is just, you've already lost because you're not yourself. Be who you are. That's your signature style, Don't try to copy someone and one up everybody and look at me. That's just not my style. I mean, but
and you feel like, no, go ahead.
like I like this dress as well. I don't know if you can see.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tom Ford.
That's a nice dress.
Yeah, it's Tom Ford for Gucci. I mean, it's revealing, but it's not showing everything. It's like, the legs are a little covered up. It's that's the thing. You can't show everything because then it's not elegant, right? So you got to pick kind of one area to focus on here, and also like, let me see if I can find this dress. I also like my reunion look after season 5, I think it was. So yeah, the Chanel one is one of my favorites. I mean, there's so many good ones, but here's that look. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice look too.
That's the 95 Chanel. Sorry, it's really really hard to find.
I see it. Wow, yeah.
I mean, there's like 2 or 3 of those left in the world, and the size 4. It's like, good luck trying to even find that. So if you don't like my style, that's fine. But you clearly don't know what's what. Like the people that do, they do. Harper's Bazaar did a special on my fashion because they understood. So
that's the first thing I noticed. So.
Oh, thank you. That's a good compliment, especially coming from a man. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, do you think, obviously, you've been Europe, you've been here, different places, you love traveling.
Yeah.
Do you think that has impacted the way you view things? Because you can tell when someone has traveled or is well traveled. Yeah. You could just tell right away. Yeah.
I've seen third world countries. I've seen kind of like second world countries. I've seen obviously the modern world, Western world, and in the end, we're all human, right? So it's like a human connection, a human need. And it's like, so when someone doesn't speak English or they don't speak whatever language you're speaking, they're trying to communicate with you. Like you're understanding, you're connecting with them. So I'm a lot more open and flexible and compassionate to people because I'm like, okay, this is someone trying to communicate, and you're just much more open-minded to different points of view and different cultures. I mean, I went to school with people from all over the world, so I never saw religion or color or like wherever you were from, like you were either my friend or not because you're a cool person or not, and that was what I based it on, so it's wild to me like how, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's wild to me how people are so focused on the differences. It's like, well, if someone crosses you as a person, that's different, but like if anything else, it's just kind of weird. So yeah.
Okay. And wellness. Talk to me about wellness actually though, before I even get into that.
It's health is a passion. Wellness is related to health and also beauty sometimes. And if you've done a lot of work on yourself as far as therapy and you want to live your best life, you definitely want to be healthy, right? Like you want mental and physical well-being to have the highest quality of life. for however long you're going to be on this earth, and just like peace, mental peace, right? Because no one wants to be stressed. You could be a billionaire, but if you're stressed about a million things, it's not fun, right? So you really want like just peace and harmony in your body. So I work out a lot. I really try my best to do nervous system regulation, because I think a lot of anxiety and stress, which then it starts as an emotion and an energy, but it does eventually affect your physical body. If you're under high stress for a long time, you're going to eventually get sick. The physical symptoms will show up. And that's how people get cancer, all kinds of things. And I've had a really close friend of mine get terrible cancer. And I was like, wow, this is a wake-up call. She's actually a doctor, and she helps people, but she's so focused on helping others that she, ignored her own self. And that was a huge lesson. I was like, damn, this is real. This is a real thing, And in general, like, you don't want every little thing to upset you. If you don't have a parking space, you don't want to lose your mind, like, it is what it is, whatever. Just don't even pay any attention to it. Your attention and your energy, your attention, your time is the most valuable thing you could give. So if you give it away about something negative, then that's gonna like expand. So, and the reverse is true too. If you focus on the positive, that expands. So when you fully grasp that concept, why would you ever like give any attention to negativity? You're just like, yeah, whatever, Also, resilience is huge. You cannot let everything upset you, because then you're going to be very unhappy. And so, like, you have to really choose, like, this doesn't mean anything. Everything's happening to my advantage. So what I try to do is bring my attention to the now with breathing techniques. I do a lot of meditation. I do sometimes like the cryo, ice bath, or the walk into the fridge thing. I work out a lot in nature and just like appreciate the nature. I listen to music. I mean, I dance a lot. Like, you just have to be in the moment, try to have fun to get out of your head and stop obsessing about whatever,
Okay. So this is a random question though. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Go? Hi, Japan.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Amazing culture, amazing, like, just people, country. Would love to go. I've been all over the world. I've not been to Asia, and especially Japan is at the top of my list. And I love the food. I love the people, the culture, so much respect, and would just absolutely love to check it out.
I'll go to Japan so bad too. Have you been to Australia?
Everything, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Have you been to Australia before?
I have not been to Australia. No. It's on my list. It's not at the top. I think if I went there, I'd go to New Zealand too, which I would be excited to go to. I also want to go to Bora Bora. It's not too far from LA, and I think that one is more feasible, but you could only go for like 5 days or so. After a while, you're like, okay, I'm bored, but it looks really nice. And I heard that between that and what's the other one? The little islands with the huts. There's 2 or 3 places. And I heard that one's the best one. So yeah.
Okay. So, you are right. You were right on the fact that you are not how they portrayed you to be.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say?
Great soul, great person.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
What can we expect from you next? Anything that you can share?
What can we expect from me? Getting my Florida real estate license. I'm getting my broker's license in Miami. There's a lot of real estate there. Incredible properties. So I know a lot of people there. Just working on some other beauty and real estate related TV projects. I don't know what's happening, but they're in the works. More content creation.
We love it. We love it. So
it's fun. It's a lot of work.
That is true.
But it's fun.
That is true. Miami, wow. LA, wow. Okay. Can't wait to see that.
Where are you located?
I am in South Carolina right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I usually go to LA because my best friend is in LA.
Oh, cool.
Um,
So
but
you've
yeah,
been here, yeah, you know, the city.
I was there like last weekend. I'm
Oh, okay.
always in LA. Yeah.
Right on.
So here's the thing. So I always do it here at the end of it because the goal for me is pretty much to keep the dream going. And to keep the
Okay,
dream
I love it.
going,
Yeah, I want to inspire people. Let's do it.
it's pretty simple. So I want you, as my guest, to think of someone who would be a good fit for this show.
Oh.
And then if you think of them, just let me know and then we'll keep the dream kind of like going.
Okay, I will. I will. Thank you.
But yeah, but it was my pleasure. This was great. Great conversation. It was pretty cool.
I'm happy to help.
Um,
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Good
you for
luck
coming.
with
That
your
was great.
podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, keep going. I love it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.